Hello YouTubers. In this video we're going to be replacing the battery in my sister-in-law's 2019 BMW 5 Series. The purpose of this video is to help other people find and register the battery. The information that we found online about this is wrong. The battery is not where they say it is, and this video will cover exactly where it is, how to get to it, how to replace it, how to register it to the car. And that is equally as important as anything you're going to do. Registering the battery is very important. So why is registering the battery an important process? Well, just like your iPhone, when you get a brand new iPhone, it doesn't need charging as often. Battery can run for a day or days. BMW does the same thing with their car batteries. There's no reason to charge a brand new battery as often as you would an older battery in the car. So the way the system works in the car is when you drive it around, it's not going to be charging the battery as often. It's going to be monitoring the battery voltage, and when it detects it needs to charge, it will send a charge. And it will do that less often with a new battery, and it will do it more often with a used battery. So as the car gets older, it will charge it more and more often, and this prolongs the battery, just like it does on your smartphone. Your smartphone will last longer if you don't charge it as often. Okay, so let's get to the battery. The battery on the BMW is in the back. On most all BMWs, always in the back. Typically they're in the bottom right corner, but as you can see on this particular car, there is a cubby hole there. So the battery is not there. Don't even bother looking if you happen to. So the battery is actually in the middle of the car. So I got a pry tool here, and I'm going to lift it up, and it will reveal the battery. There she is in all its glory, in a nice good spot. So let's start the work. So the first thing we're going to do is pull this lid out of the car. Okay, got a 10mm ratchet, and now we're going to undo the brace covering the battery. Okay, now we want to pull up on the sensor. It just lifts out, and we'll set it to the side. Okay, now we want to take the negative terminal off. So we're going to undo that with our 10mm and set it to the side. So now let's pivot to the positive terminal. We're going to lift up on the cap here, and we'll take our 10mm wrench, or ratcheting wrench, and we'll undo this side and set its terminal off to the side as well. So with the terminals off to the side, what you're looking at here is a bracket that's holding down the left side of the battery. The battery slides underneath that bracket, and it is permanently fixed to the car. On the right side of this is a bolt, 12mm bolt, that holds the battery down in place on the right side of the battery. So we're going to grab a socket and pull that out. So here's the replacement battery. It's a factory original BMW battery, 950 cold cranking amp battery, 105 amp hour, which is the factory spec that you want. And so the next thing we're going to do is pop it in the hole there. So now we've got it in the hole, and we just need to slide it to the left to get it under the bracket there on the left side. Okay, here we're going to put back in the bracket that holds on the right side of the battery. So let's get that down in there, and we'll take our 12mm socket and fix it in there. With that all snugged down, now we're going to put back on the sensor. So we'll grab that, put it back in position on the battery, get it nice and snug. Next thing here, we'll put on the positive terminal. And we'll get our 10mm ratchet and snug it up. And now we're going to connect up the negative side, get the 10mm out, and cinch it down too. Okay, now we're going to jump into the car and we're going to plug in our Carly device and we're going to register the battery. So I want to take a moment and briefly mention that Carly recently sponsored this channel. So if you have a need for a device, like I have had, I would recommend you click on the description below. There'll be a link to Carly and it will help the channel out. So if you don't mind, please purchase one if you have a need for one. I will say that this device works on BMWs, which you've seen in all my videos. This device is what I use for 99% of all the work I do. I do use Zista, which you've seen in other videos as well, but like I've mentioned there, that's a deep dive diagnostic tool. The Carly is what I use for 99% of the things I do on my Audi and BMW. So if you have a need, please click on the description below, click in the description below, click on the link, and please purchase one. It will help out the channel. On the main screen here, after we've connected to the car, just scroll down until you get to the battery section, and then click the Learn More button. Click Continue here. On this screen, just swipe to the right and select Register Same Battery, since we are putting in the exact same battery. Here, select the option to read battery data. And when it finishes reading, click OK. And now we're going to select the option to register same battery. At this prompt, click Register Battery. Okay, when it's finished, it'll tell you successfully registered, and you will click OK at the bottom. Now we're done with the Carly device. We can disconnect it from our phone and unplug it from the car, and we'll go to the back and tidy up the installation. And in the back here, what we're going to do is put back on our bracket 10mm nuts, and we'll tighten those down. And so the final piece is to put the carpeting back in, and then the job is done. So as you can see, this was a very easy job. 10mm wrench or socket, 12mm socket, and you're off to the races with this thing. The only other tool that you need that I recommend is a Carly device to register the battery. That's always going to be helpful. So, and plus you can use it for other things. So YouTubers, if you like the video, like the video.